honestly, if this is your first bag, it's your first bag, not your forever bag. So
unlike your spouse, that should be
that should be forever. Welcome back to Story Also Rhymes. I'm Corey.
I'm Lori.
What is our episode about today?
We're going to give some helpful tips on how to size your backpack to fit your body properly.
Perfect. Yeah. So we have backpacks that we like. We're not going to try and sell you on those backpacks because they're right for us. But we want to give you some helpful ideas and suggestions so that you can pick a backpack that is right for you. So we have three things to think about when selecting your first backpack. So if you are a hiker and you want to get out on the trail, maybe for an extended period of time, overnight, so you're thinking about backpacking, this is the channel for you.
If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, or you are just thrilled with the content we're about to present, please subscribe, hit like, and share with friends. We really appreciated the comments we've received so far. So Thanks a lot.
Perfect. So let's get right into it. The number one thing that you need to know when selecting your backpack is what size of a backpack do you need. So how do you size a backpack?
You size a backpack. You act like you're going to do the chicken dance. You put your hands on your hips, where your thumbs touch, that's the bottom, and then at your C7, bend, and then have your trusty partner run your tape measure down your back. That's going to give you a number in the range of hopefully over 10 or 12, otherwise you're super short. 16, 18, 20, that'll give you an idea, and then they'll help you with the sizing charts wherever you go to go shopping. So that's the initial way that you check your size.
Perfect. So that's very helpful. But we got your size pretty quick, but it took us quite a bit of time to find a pack that actually fits you. So the second thing we would say is try on the pack.
Don't Google. Don't go start Googling packs. Go somewhere, right? Try it on.
That's what we recommend. Like going to REI, other outfitters. We went to secondhand stores like gear secondhand stores to find stuff. It took quite a bit of time.
Yeah, for me, the size was there, but I had to try on so many. It's like buying a pair of jeans. I had a friend who just bought jeans online, and they fit her. That would never happen to me. So just take the time to go in and try stuff on, and then go home and Google. Once you have a good idea of what you've seen, what you like, what fits good, maybe what brand you like. Okay, like I have a certain brand of jeans I like. So figure out which brand of backpack maybe is fitted the way that you wanna, that's gonna fit you well.
Yeah. And if you do go into a store that doesn't, like REI will put weight in there, they have like bean bags, but other stores don't necessarily have those. So just start walking around putting gear.
Just tell the guy at the counter you're doing it. Just let him know you're just going to try and check weight on this backpack before you start loading it up with stuff.
But you definitely want to walk around with it loaded up, at least 20 pounds, so you know if it's going to feel good. If it feels good in the store, walking around for 15, 20 minutes, it's probably going to feel good on the trail.
And maybe something you could Google in advance is how the different straps are supposed to rest, where they're supposed to fit. Like the difference between low waist and high waist jeans. Well, you know where that waist is supposed to hit. But with a backpack, maybe you don't know what these straps are for, or these straps are for. So maybe do a little checking so you can see, once you get to the store, how is this supposed to fit? Usually people are super helpful there to help you try and size. But in case you're on your own, you can always Google that.
Yeah. And if someone in the store was super helpful and they put a lot of time and effort into getting you the right fit, the right bag, maybe don't go home and buy it online. Maybe just go ahead and spend the 5% more and support that guy that worked hard to help you out.
That would warm his heart, probably.
That would, yeah. But to each his own.
Okay.
So the third thing, so now you got a backpack, you know your size. Next is, what do you want to bring? How big, what capacity does that backpack need to be? So first of all, you got to kind of figure out what kind of backpacker you want to be. I think most people would probably fall into the weekend warrior category, where you're thinking like 2 or 3 nights. And for the most part, that's about where Lori wants to be. So that was pretty easy to start figuring out what kind of size backpack she needed. If you think that you might do longer stuff, through hikes, things like that, that's something else to consider. Maybe a pack that's a little bit more versatile.
What do you mean versatile?
Like my pack, it's the Osprey Atmos. So I can take the brain off, right?
Which one's the brain? The top flap?
That I always put way too much weight in. I can take that off, and there's all these compression straps to where if I'm carrying less of a load, I can keep that load tight because you don't want the load rocking around on you. You want it to be nice and tight.
Not to interrupt you, but basically your bag could probably almost compress close to the width of mine if you wanted it to.
Yeah, if I wanted to.
Interesting.
You can't take your brain off though.
I never would want to. One of us has to
So
stay on their toes.
To me, if I let all these straps out, I can carry 50 pounds easy. This is kind of rated to up to 50 pounds, but I could certainly get more than 50 pounds in here if I wanted to and still feel pretty comfortable. But that's what I mean by versatile.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Great. So
what are some other options that you think about when you're thinking about your bag?
I'll tell you two things. One, I have a different back sweat vent system on mine. I got this. Corey has this crazy good net system that keeps the whole thing off of his back. That's one thing. Maybe you're a heavy sweater on your back. I don't know. Another thing that I really like is being able to access stuff. If you remember from my earlier post, I'm a snacker. I like stuff in my hip pocket. So maybe if you want things accessible, maybe you have a bigger phone, a bigger something that you want to take pictures with. I don't know. Check for good hip access points. Also, there's zippers, but a lot of these, with mine, sometimes I feel like I can't quite get to where I need to get. A good thing that it does have, though, that you may want to consider is this lower compartment. This is where I put my sleeping bags. My sleep system basically goes in this. It's divided with a thin layer, but I can access it either way. So thinking about access points and storage of vital things are things that I think are important.
Yeah. You actually made a great comment earlier about you were talking about when you pack for a trip and how that relates to figuring out what kind of backpack you want.
Yeah, I think for me, if you are not sure how big of a bag you think you're going to need, well, get your initial supplies first, like your sleep system. Like maybe you don't need a pad. I don't know. Maybe you have a super teeny bag. I don't know. So getting those initial things that you're always going to have, whether it's your tent, and then the variables will change, how much food, or what kind of clothes, depending on the season. But get those initial things figured out, and that will at least give you an idea of the initial base size of a bag you need.
Yeah. Excellent. That's a great suggestion.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Some other options that you could look at in terms of backpacks. You have ultralight backpacks, and you have, like what Lori and I have, our more traditional backpacks. There's quite a few differences. Like mine is designed to carry up to 50 pounds. An ultralight backpack is not typically going to be it's not going to be set to carry 50 pounds. It's kind of against the whole concept, right? So if you overload an ultralight pack, it's gonna wear on you really poorly, and you're not gonna enjoy yourself.
So if you like to pack a box of wine backpacking, don't get an ultralight pack.
Yeah, don't do that. Also, ultralight packs, like she mentioned, access. Usually they are only top access. They're stripped down. They don't have as many bells and whistles. There's a lot to that. I think the next backpack that I would get, I would have less bells and whistles. So maybe not the brain, maybe not so many pockets.
But then who's gonna carry all my stuff?
Yeah. And they make like hybrid ones, like Granite Gear I think makes kind of a hybrid one, and even Osprey makes one. I can't remember what the name of it is at this point, but so some kinds of things to think about. There's super ultralight, but that's a different beast. And
change the channel. Yeah. If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, but I mean that's super cool. I love the guys that are able to do that, but I like a box of wine every once in a while.
Cool.
So there's frame and frameless, things like that. The only recommendation I would say is get one with a frame if you're just starting out, either internal or external. It's probably you're going to carry too much when you start off. You just are. And so having that extra support to carry the load is a good plan.
Okay, so what are the 3 things that they can think about prior to picking and shopping for a bag?
So getting one that's the right size, one that fits well, and one that's going to carry what you want to carry.
Good.
Like this one brings a chair, a hammock, a blanket to stretch out on. Half of her weight is that.
You got to be comfortable, right?
And chocolate and tea is the other half of the weight. But that's our tips for you if you're starting out.
Yeah.
Those are things that we would have liked to have known a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah, I wish somebody had told me not to try to Google and research this before I'd gone and tried some on. I think once I tried them on, I had an idea, okay, I'm not looking at a women's this size. I might need a men's or a unisex. Mine, we Googled it. It's the North Face Terra 50. I got it because it fit. I couldn't find anything else that fit. It's been fantastic. It's held up great. So maybe you have to go outside your gender or go unisex depending on your torso length or, so.
Yeah. Well, very good. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this, hit subscribe, thumbs up,
Yeah.
share us.
Share. Prepare your soul. It's February, so I mean it's around the corner. Freedom. I mean, depending on where you live. Maybe you live somewhere where you're already free, but for us, we're coming up on hopefully some time to get outside finally.
Yeah.
Which maybe one of these days will show you a backpacking trip. I don't know. It might happen, but
This weekend we were supposed to go backpacking, but it was like
the real feel was -14, and
Yeah.
that I'm sorry. For me, I'm not there. I'm offering a different service to the YouTube community, and it's not to be hardcore and amazing like some people. So
yeah. But our friends still went, and their pictures looked awesome. So
they didn't
good-
show us the
good
frostbite
them.
on their nose, though.
They don't have a YouTube channel, so I can't direct you to them. But that's our show for today.
Yeah, we're happy you could be here. Thanks for watching all the way to this point. And if you have, we thank you.
Yeah. If you have made it to this point, you're a special person. I'm Corey.
I'm Lori.
We'll see you next time. Sounds good. What should we even know before that?
What color bag you want?
Okay, let's start back over at this part. It's how to size it first, and then capacity. Yeah. Okay. We just lost a demographic.